Welcome to the October edition of Seriously Curious, a virtual program presented by Collier County Public Library. Each month, we bring you a new topic that we hope will pique your curiosity. This month, we will be talking about Audrey Hepburn, the elegant and famous star of the silver screen. Known for such films as Breakfast at Tiffany's and Roman Holiday, she was admired for her beauty, grace, and acting skills. But many don't know Audrey's early life was just as eventful as her movie career. Let's take a closer look. But before we look at her childhood, did you know Audrey Hepburn is one of the very few people who has won the EGOT? That means she has won an Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony Award for her performances. She won the Emmy for her television show Gardens of the World with Audrey Hepburn in 1994. She collected a Grammy for her spoken word children's book Audrey Hepburn's Enchanted Tales in 1993. In 1953, she won an Oscar for her premier leading role as Princess Anne in Roman Holiday, and in 1954 she garnered a Tony Award for her performance in the Broadway play Ondine. But before all those accolades, Audrey, known to her family as Adriantje, was born in Belgium on May 4, 1929, to a Dutch baroness, Ella van Heemstra, and her husband, the British national Joseph Rustin. This was Ella's second marriage, and Audrey had two half-brothers, Ian and Alex. Because of her British heritage and her father's wish for Audrey to be brought up as English, she was sent to a school in Kent in 1937. She stayed there until her mother saw the dark clouds of war gathering, and she brought her back to the Netherlands in 1939. One thing most people don't know is that Audrey's parents, especially her father, Joseph Rustin, were sympathetic to the Nazi Party and the rise of Hitler. Audrey's parents divorced in 1938, and he was never again a real part of her life. As World War II raged and the Germans occupied Arnhem, where Audrey and her family spent the entirety of the war, her mother grew disenchanted, then reversed her feelings for the Nazi Party completely, helping with the Dutch resistance. Speaking of the Dutch resistance, Audrey had her part to play as well. The young teen was obsessed with ballet and was a noted pupil of a ballerina, Winja Marova. Audrey participated in many Black Evenings, which were performances given to raise money for the resistance. They were called Black Evenings because the windows of the building would be blacked out so as not to alert the Germans to their secret gatherings. There is another story of Audrey helping the resistance. In 1944, when Allied bombers were driving the Germans out of Arnhem, many were shot down. Since Audrey spoke English fluently and was still a mere girl of 15 and not suspicious to the Germans, she was sent at least once to tell a downed pilot where to go to receive help and avoid capture. Audrey's first love and passion was for dance. She worked slavishly as a teenager to become a ballerina. Unfortunately, Audrey and her family suffered from severe malnutrition towards the end of the war. They were taking tulip bulbs from the garden, grinding them into flour so they could bake bread. Audrey suffered from acute anemia, respiratory problems, and edema, or a swelling of the limbs. Because of her height and her weak constitution, caused from malnutrition during the war, she lost her dream of becoming a prima ballerina. Leaving her true love of dance, she decided to concentrate on acting. She would later show her dancing chops in Funny Face with the irrepressible Fred Astaire. Most of the facts from this edition of Seriously Curious came from Robert Matson's book, Dutch Girl, Audrey Hepburn and World War II. You can find it in our catalog at collierlibrary.org, and we also have digital editions available for download in Cloud Library and Hoopla. Seriously Curious will be back next month for a celebration of Lewis Carroll and the anniversary publication of Alice in Wonderland. Don't miss it. Thanks for watching. See you next month.